All right, fair use, fair use. This video is for education purposes only. This is your brother Wild Rum. You're back with another lesson, Lord willing, to be edifying. I want to start by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shah, by Hashem, Wahab, Rakakwadash, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah. Double honors to the apostles, elders, bishops, the great millstone taught me this truth. Shalom to the 144,000 men of the Lord you see on the highways and byways. Prophesied in the name and power of Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shah. Also in the correct doctrine. I want to send a shalom to the one-third men, women, and children that will escape the judgments of Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shah, by their faith. Just got another lesson I want to bring out through the spirit of Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai. As you see, the guy that who predicted '08 housing crash. And this guy's been predicting the market crashes for many, many years, man. He says this housing crash, Michael Burr said feeling like the last months of the 2009 and 2000 bubble. Now home sellers outnumber buyers by 630,000, a large gap ever recorded. So this gap of houses on the market and nobody to buy them, man. So that shows you that crash that he predicted back in '08 is going to happen again. Now you got 600,000 houses on the market, man. Just imagine how many apartments is vacant as well. Now they're saying by the 4th of July, the American gas system, if you want to look at it like that, they're not going to have any gas. As the also the AutoZone memo went out that there's going to be a shortage of oil. So all these oil, you get your car oil change, lubrications, and all these different, bearings and motors and shit that they need. It's going to come to a halt, man. And they're telling you before it happens that this is by the 4th of July, you're gonna have a shortage of gas, oil, and pretty much any lubricant. So check this out.
When do storage tanks run empty?
You're parts of the world like Australia, Philippines, Thailand, you are, but the question is when and where. I still say that with you, it's going to be, sometime the month of May that you're going to end up with Europe hitting tank bottoms, and in the U.S. it's somewhere in that July 4th time period, if not sooner. By the way, the inventories number coming out of the U.S., the ones we got last night, the ones last week, I've never seen anything like that before. And I think that it's important to remember that these inventory numbers, let's define terms, a deficit versus a shortage. We have a deficit today, meaning that demand is above supply and we're drawing inventories. It's not a shortage yet. So to answer your question, you have the shortages in places like, Asia, and it's not that bad yet because you're not completely at tank bottoms. But in places like Europe and the United States, you're in a deficit and you don't hit the shortages until you hit tank bottom.
So this shows you that Donald Trump going into this war has pretty much crippled the whole entire globe from fuel. So he said it was a deficit. So basically telling you that it's not going to be brung back to a point where it's plentiful because they're at a deficit now, man. And these like I'm going to show you this next video. These tankers only move at 5 miles per hour. It takes over 3 months for a tanker to come from the Middle East to America. So you're gonna have shortages on food. You're gonna have shortages on oil and everything. It goes from the Middle East over to Babylon the Great, man, and all over the globe. This is not here, all over. So what he did was pretty much destroyed the economy of the whole globe. Now, it's not a coincidence that the anniversary of America's 250-year anniversary is 4th of July. This is also the time where it's going to be a shortage of oil and gas. So a lot of people are not going to be going to work, and they're not going to be traveling and doing anything, that even flying, because you got the fuel comes from the Middle East as well, man. Even though America produces gas, they have to basically send it away because it's a different type of oil that they basically import. So the gas they use, I think it's a sweet crude, and they produce a heavy crude. So it has to be exported and then have to basically be shipped back, man. So it's basically a supply chain that has to happen before you even get the gas, man. So a lot of people, oh, we produce gas, we this, we that. and they don't have a clue how this thing works, man. Now check this out.
Something they're not going to tell you on American media, and the American government definitely isn't going to tell you about it. By July 4th, the United States will be out of gasoline. The ships, the tankers in the Gulf of Mexico are taking the oil out of our strategic oil reserve. America cannot use its own oil. It has to sell the oil that is pumped out of our ground so that the American economy doesn't crash. If we used our own oil in America, our economy would crash almost immediately. So come July 4th, there will not be any gasoline. That's the projected time for the United States to run out. This is a real fact. This came from the Energy Secretary of Canada. He did an analysis on all of the gas levels around the globe. Europe is scheduled to run out by the end of this month. America is scheduled to run out July 4th. If you want to see the video, go to Prepper News with Canadian Prepper. Go to Canadian Prepper and look up Nathan. Nathan does a full in-depth analysis of it, and they have the interview on the channel on Canadian Prepper. So it's going to be a hard time for the United States running out of gas, and there won't be any school because there won't be any gas to run the buses come spring. This is a big deal. God loves you. I love you.
So this is going to catch a lot of people off guard because they don't think it'll happen in America. This place is the people are spoiled here, and they don't think, well, that won't happen here. Not knowing that the sword is being sharpened to destroy Babylon the Great, man, and to bring judgment on Babylon the Great, man. Because you got to think, if they're predicting this by the 4th of July, it's going to happen before then. You're going to start seeing shortages before you even get to 4th of July. Now, they're saying a lot of, like South Korea, a couple places in Asia are already, India, I know India for a fact, they are already reaching, you know what I'm saying, their shortages. So it's going to start hitting here in different rural places where not a lot of people is. It's going to start being shortages of gas and oil and different things like that in those places, man. Because, like I said, AutoZone, I'm gonna play the video. Matter of fact, let me let these videos play, and you will see exactly what I'm talking about. Let me see if I can get this one back. I'm gonna get the other one first. Let me get that other one first. Get to it real quick.
Dave, you say that if the war in Iran doesn't end by Memorial Day, then we're going to see the decline of the U.S. at the 4th of July.
These are approximation figures, but people got to realize oil tankers move at about 5 to 10 miles an hour. So they can take 3 months in transit, and if they have any stops, it can even be longer. We're living right now on borrowed oil. And here's something that doesn't get explained in the mainstream media properly. People say, oh, we're oil independent. Well, it's true. We have more oil than we can consume on a daily basis. But a lot of that oil is heavy crude, and a lot of our refineries aren't set to handle that. So we import better quality oil from the Middle East that we use domestically. We export a lot of the heavy crude. But if that oil is not coming to us through the Strait of Hormuz, which is 95% closed and has been since February 28th, then we have to rely on our oil reserves or the tankers that are in transit right now from the time of delivery prior to the war starting to now. And we're reaching that point.
So you see that it basically explained to you that it's no quick fix, and they're about to go to war again, man. I know Donald Trump said on Tuesday that they was already locked and loaded. He was about to make the move on striking Iran again, but he was told not to, and they're about to start this war up again. And see, the Straits of Hormuz been closed for over 40 days. So basically no tankers have been coming through the Straits of Hormuz for over 40 days, man. I think it's like almost 50 days now. I think it was like a week or two ago when they said that. I forgot what date. So much shit going on, you can't keep up with everything. But the point is, nothing is being moved through the Straits of Hormuz, man. And a lot of not only oil, but you got the fertilizers and different gases that also come through the Middle East that you have to produce crops that are being shut down too, man. So it's also a famine coming. So everything is basically happening as we've been prophesying for start with the apostles and elders on down. That's going to come to America, man, and it's going to catch a lot of people off guard. And not only the famine is coming, you're going to have these race wars are starting too, man. Because that's all they're pushing out right now is just a lot of propaganda on race wars, civil unrest. So we are truly in the last days, man, and things are about to hit the peak, and people are going to lose it, man, because once that gas stop moving, man, you're not going to be able to go to your grocery stores. You're not going to be able to go to fast food restaurants, your sit down restaurants, whatever restaurant you go to, that food has to be transported. And these Americans are going to lose it, man, when they're not able to go to McDonald's or Burger King and get a burger. They're gonna just if your damn order late at McDonald's, man, somebody coming with a gun, man, shoot the damn restaurant up, man. Just imagine if you don't got nothing in that damn restaurant, man. These people are about to lose it, man. Now check this out.
Did you guys see the leaked AutoZone memo that warns of massive motor oil shortages? Listen to this freaking memo, dude. So first things first, this is an official memo from AutoZone. It's not some willy-nilly AI thing, okay? And blah, blah, blah. He's talking about how, COVID was crazy, but this might be crazier. Then he says, he's not mincing words. Due to the unfolding situation in the Middle East, we are facing the largest supply shortage of lubricating fluids in the modern history of America. And then he says, realistic middle-of-the-road estimates are for our average available supply in this product category to drop by 40%. So you basically can expect at least a huge percentage increase in price on these things, if not totally unavailable to get them. Now, does this have anything to do with the plan to put us into smart cities, to put us into electric cars, to make the Great Reset, and to enslave and control us with AI? Is that not a crazy thought? Now, I don't know about you. We're going to see what's coming around the corner here. We kind of have an idea, though. But I think it's more important than ever before to be of sound mind and sound body with all the crazy psyops and deceptions that are upon us now. And we know that there's a concerted effort to keep us in a lowered state of consciousness with all the crazy chemicals in the food, air, and water supply. So if you think it's important to be detoxing, right now, Chalk is giving away free $100 bags of organic.
So you see that this is not a joke, man. AutoZone put that memo out for their companies to understand that it's going to be shortages. So your little pull-up gas stations and oil stations, they're going to hit shortages, man. You're not going to be able to just go and pull up at one of these oil spots and get your oil changed, man. So that's right there alone is going to burn a lot of engines up, man. It's going to get bad, man. It ain't no way around it. And if you know what I'm saying, the only ones that's going to understand and know this is the ones that's taking heed to the word, man. Everybody else is going to be left out there to figure it out on their own, man. This is Proverbs 11 and verse 14. It says, "Where no counsel is, the people fall." And see, you have Donald Trump in office, man. He's not taking wise counsel himself. So how the hell he gonna be able to give you wise counsel? He's not taking wise counsel because if he was, he would have knew if he would have struck Iran. The first thing he was gonna do is cut the Straits of Hormuz off. So this goes to show you that we're in biblical times, man. We always been in biblical times, but the prophets of the Lord are telling you exactly what's gonna happen before it happens, man. That's all a prophet is to speak beforehand. So this is right here is showing you that, man, without a shadow of a doubt, man, what's finna happen. It says, "Where no counselor is, the people fall, but in the multitude of counselors, there is safety." And that's the man of the Lord telling you what's going to happen, man. To believe, if you believe and have faith in the Lord, you're taking heed to the message of the men of the Lord. Because this is wise counsel for you to be prepared mentally and spiritually for what's coming. There's no way around what's coming, man. You're going to have to believe and have faith in the Lord, man. This is Proverbs 12 and 15. It says, the way of a fool is right in his own eyes. So you're going to have people think, oh, man, that ain't going to happen. They would never do that here. We the richest country in the world. That's the mindset of someone that's going to be put to death. Destruction, man. Because if these Edomites, they're putting these out here for a reason, man. They ain't just saying this shit for the hell of it. They believe in America, man. They believe that this place is going to continue on forever. They don't believe that Babylon is going to ever get touched by these other nations. So what they're putting out, they're putting out sincerely. You know, like I said, you see when he put that memo out. You know what I'm saying? You see the Dave Hodges putting this out. They believe in America, man. They believe that their kingdom is never going to come down, man. Verse 16. This is Proverbs 12 and verse 15. I'm sorry. It says, the way of a fool is right in his own eyes, but he that hearkeneth unto counsel is wise. So if you're taking heed to the men of the Lord, you're wise, man. Because 2/3 of our people are going to be destroyed here in America, man. It says a fool's wrath is presently known, but a prudent man covereth shame, man. So if you don't know something, man, it's good to not say, well, I don't know it. You know what I'm saying? Like DT, he acts like he knows everything, man. That's why when he says anything, nobody trusts or believes him, man. And I'm speaking about these other nations. They don't trust that he's going to make a deal or he's going to, do one of these things he says because he's so puffed up with pride that no one is taking him serious, man. And that's how you know that when he goes back into war, it's going to cause all the other nations to come into the war because all the nations are mad and tired of Babylon the Great, man. They're not afraid of Babylon as they used to be. They will go over and do this to this nation and do this to this nation, and no one was able to stop them. Now you see them, pushing propaganda to go into Cuba. And they want to go arrest a 94-year-old man saying that he killed Americans. Now, Babylon has went and killed millions of Iraqis and millions of, man, it's so many bodies that they got on their hand, but they're so arrogant and so prideful that they believe that they are the gods of the earth, man. They are the authority over the entire earth, man. And this is what's going to lead them to destruction. This is Proverbs 24 and verse 6. For by wise counsel thou shalt make thy war. See, by wise counsel. So we know that DJT didn't take wise counsel because this happened when he struck Iran. It came right after he went into Venezuela, and he didn't have anyone to tell him no, because he seen that, well, we got the biggest and baddest military in the world. Man, they went over and took Maduro without any effort of anybody fighting back. So that's what led him to think that he can go in Iran and do the same exact thing. And they told, I'm saying, I'm pretty sure he don't fired all the so-called black commanders and generals that was in office. Anyone that would tell him what was going to happen or what they're going to do if you go and attack them. He didn't take that counsel, man. He fired all the ones that basically would tell him the right way to go. So he didn't take wise counsel. This shows you that this man is the last president of Babylon the Great, man. 24 and 6 again, Proverbs 24 and 6 again, it says, for by wise counsel thou shalt make thy war. And in the multitude of counselors there is safety. See, the men of the Lord, we have the apostles, the elders on down. When you watch these videos and lessons, we are giving each other wise counsel, man. Showing you and telling you what's going to happen. They doing this here. They doing this there. This is wise counsel, man. Because what we're doing is prophesying the return of our Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, man. Because everything is leading to the return of the Lord and the destruction of Babylon the Great, man. This is well known now that America is going to be touched by the Russians, the Chinese, the North Koreans, and soon Iran. This is Obadiah 1 and verse 8, and it says, shall I not in that day, saith Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, even destroy the wise man out of Edom? See, the Edomites have no more wisdom, man. Their wise men are gone, man. Anyone that, is a critical thinker, and these Edomites is a critical thinker, they're gone, man. It says, and understanding out of the mount of Esau. And thy mighty men, O Teman, shall be dismayed to the end, and every one of the mount of Esau shall be cut off by slaughter. See, they don't know that their day is coming when they're going to be judged and they're going to be cut off by slaughter. Let me jump up to verse 7 again. I want to start at 7 instead of 8. This is Obadiah 1 and 7. It says, all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee. And see, the Russians, the China, everybody was at peace with him, even his own allies, which DJT goes and puffs up against them. And now that you see that they are drawing their troops out of these NATO nations, man. So he is the last. He got to be the last president, man, because the pride has his pride is beyond anyone's a comprehension, man. Because for someone to be that prideful, man, you're not gonna have anybody come behind him more prideful than him, man. I can't see it, man. This is the modern day Pharaoh. He's like I said, like the apostle said, he's Nero, man. And you can definitely tell that this man has got to be Nero. Just reading back on Nero's history. Verse 7 again, it says, all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border, and the men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. See, there's no understanding in him. Now this man he ain't understanding if he's not understanding consequences, because he's been a bully in a China shop for so many years that he can't see that these nations have technology and weapons that you can't stop, man. And we seen that clear when they went into Iran, man. Those drones, man, decimated them. So this man is no understanding it. He's not thinking about what should I do next. He's just doing what he wants to do because he feel like he has the power, man. And it's showing you the Lord is against him because he's puffing him up with great power and pride, just like he did Pharaoh, to bring him down, man. Verse 80 says, shall I not in that day, saith Yahweh Shem Yahushua, even destroy the wise men out of Edom? And see, we seeing for a fact the wise men of Edom are gone, man. At one time, this man was strategic. He would make moves according to his power in getting allies and different nations to back him. Now he's just going on his own, man, because he feel like he has the power and no one can bring him down, man. So we see the wise man of Edom is being destroyed, man, and the understanding out of Mount of Esau finished, man. And you can't tell me that these so-called white men is not the Edomites, because they fit prophecy to the T. This is Jeremiah 49, dropping down to verse 7. It says, concerning Edom, thus said Yahweh Shem Yahushua of hosts, is wisdom no more in Teman? Which would the Teman would be the so-called Germans today. It says, is counsel perish? And DJT Trump is a Teman. He's a German, man. Concerning Edom, thus say Yahweh Shem Yahushua of hosts, is wisdom no more in Teman? And that's plain, man. This is DJT. He would be a Temanite. He'll be a German. And there's no more wisdom in Teman, man. It's clearly what the scriptures are breaking down. It says, is counsel perished from the prudent? Is their wisdom vanished? See, their wisdom is vanished. Like I said, at one point in time, man, you would think these people was the smartest people. Everybody wanted to be like them. Everybody looked at them as God. Now that's gone, man. That's fading away, man. It says, flee ye, turn back, dwell deep, O inhabitants of Dedan, for I will bring calamity of Esau upon him. The time that I will visit him. See, the time the Lord is going to visit him is now. His wisdom is gone, man. The Lord is bringing him to his knees. And see, DJT and, well, I just keep saying DJT, but you should know who Donald Trump is. But basically, he had an argument with Benjamin Netanyahu. So he is going to be forced to make a move and going back into Iran, man. Because DJT just came back on the news yesterday and said, he'll do what I ask. He'll do what I say. So he's puffing up with pride against Benjamin, because he don't want his pride is so heavy, is so high that he don't want to feel like he's being told what to do. But behind the scenes, the strings are being pulled, and he's making the moves that They want him to make the moves they want him to make, not the moves he make it on his own. This is 1 Corinthians 1 and verse 19. It says, "For it is written, I will destroy the wisdom out of the wise, and will bring to nothing the understanding of the prudent." And like I said, at one point in time, you would have thought that the so-called white man was the smartest person on the earth, man. You would have thought he was just the cream of the crop, man. Everything was going good for him. He had the Israelites in slavery. He had the Fortune 500 companies. They was going to vacation every year. Now you got a lot of these Edomites that's strung out, man. You get a lot of these Edomites is using credit cards to buy groceries. See, the wisdom that they once had is being stripped away, man. 19 one more time, it says, "For it is written, I will destroy the wisdom of the wise, and I will bring to nothing the understanding of the prudent. Where is the wise? Where is the scribe? Where is the disputer of this world? Have not power made foolish the wisdom of this world?" So everything that you think the AI, all this shit is taking your jobs. You know what I'm saying? And everybody thinks that's a good thing. AI this, AI that, they doing this shit. It's more convenient to the point these data centers are being put in every city in America, man. That's destroying your it's destroying the air. You know what I'm saying? Like in Memphis, shit, them motherfuckers damn near can't breathe, man. But these data centers use a lot of water too, man. So people water bills are going up just because of the data centers, man. They're putting off so much pollutants in the air, and you're paying for it. So this man is showing you, man, he is not wise, man. He is not wise. 20, it says, "Where is the wise? Where is the scribe? Where is the disputer of this world? Have power made foolish the wisdom of this world?" See, the wisdom that you think you have in this world is stupid, man. It's dumb to the Lord. Just because you got a degree or you got this, you got that, that's the Lord don't care nothing about that. But you're seeing for yourself that the Lord is going to take this man down, man, because everything he is built up is going to come down, man. This is Second Esdras 6 in verse let's hit the point at 8. It says, "And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's feet is like it says, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. For Esau is the end of the world." See, where's the wise? Where is the disputer of this world? It's Esau, man. It says, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. See, this man's world is finna crumble, man. It's crumbling down, man. It's circling the drain until the Lord comes and physically destroys it. This is, I'm going to drop down to verse 22. It says, "And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, and full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty." And that's these stores, man. See, he's not wise enough to understand that what he's doing is destroying his own kingdom. So when these stores run out of foods, run out of gas, run out of oil, he brought this on his own self, man. So in the ancient world, when Egypt was destroyed, the Lord shook his hand over it and destroyed them, just like he's doing Babylon the Great. But he's using himself against his own self, man. House divided, man. Verse 20, verse 23, it says, "And the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man heareth, they shall suddenly be afraid. At that time shall friends fight one against another." And that's for to come. That's for to come as well, man. So when your storehouse is empty, these people are gonna fight against each other, man. Neighbor against neighbor, friend against friend. It says, "At that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountain shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run. Whosoever remaineth from all these that I have told thee shall escape and see my salvation and the end of your world." You see, we're finna see the end of Esau's world, man. We're finna see the end of it. And you gotta say, "Tawadi Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah," that you was able to understand what was the end of his world, man, because a lot of people are finna get caught off guard, man, because destruction is at the door. But I'm gonna end it there. Lord, widows edifying. Shalom. Shalom.